Good evening, lords and squires, and thank you for tuning in to the first ever episode of JWC TV, where we bring you all the latest threats, gossip, and salt. We have a great show for you tonight, so let's get right to it. With me is the one and only His Grace, our beloved King, King Mish. How are you doing tonight, King Ryan?
I'm doing wonderful, Hand Ryan. It was an awesome first week of the JWC. Tons of great commander reveals, lots to get to. I can't wait to talk to you about it today.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's get right to it. Topic 1, commander reveals.
Absolutely. I'm excited to get into this. Week 1 was amazing. We had tons of big commander reveals, some that were maybe expected, some that were big surprises. Let's go through them one by one. We'll go in the order of Week 1 standings.
Sounds great, my King Ryan.
All right, Hand. So first up was Captain Rook, and he is playing the Destined Warrior, which is a legendary creature, human warrior, that reads, First Strike, Vigilance, and Menace, and Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, and Wizard spells cost you 1 colorless less to cast. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, creatures you control get +1/+0 until the end of turn. And if you have a full party, creatures you control get +3/+0 until the end of turn instead. My first reaction to this is, do we have another parley time question mark? Or is it something totally different? What the hell is a party?
Well, so that's all that Dungeons and Dragons shit, I think. But that definitely sounds like a commander for someone who's going to complain about the other commanders while he wins the game. What happened in Week 1 for him?
I think he may have complained about other commanders.
And then did he ultimately win the game?
He did ultimately win the game. Ouch.
Wow, that was my first reaction, and it came true.
How did you know that?
I don't know. I think I've seen this movie before.
Let's look up what the hell a party is, because I'm going to have to know that myself. A full party in Magic the Gathering is a game mechanic where a player controls 4 specific creature types simultaneously. A cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard. So I guess that makes sense. I'm assuming this deck is going to be full of clerics, rogue, warriors, and wizards.
All right, who's next?
All right, so next up we have the Justiciar, a.k.a. Last Place. And I got to admit,
I thought he was just a car.
I don't know how to say it.
All right, well.
I know how to say it.
Last place.
So I got to admit to you, Hand, this one brings a slight tear to my eye. Some may know, some may not know, but our dear Last Place is playing Voja, Jaws of the Conclave, which was a dream commander of mine.
Sorry, my King Ryan.
It's all right. We'll live. Of course it would be fucking Last Place. Anyway, for those of you that don't know, Voja, Jaws of the Conclave, is a legendary creature who is a wolf. And he has Vigilance, Trample, and Ward 3. Bullshit. And
Ward 3 is cheating.
Yes. Jaws of the Conclave attacks. Put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of elves you control. Draw a card for each wolf you control. Thoughts, my Hand?
Counterspells.
Yes. All right.
Oh, but can we take one moment to just say it warms my heart to see the flavor that Last Place has brought. Even at Last Place, I will give him that credit.
Absolutely.
He kept that accent going the entire night. Never let up.
And I think he even read his commander backwards.
Yes. He started with 5/5 and didn't even read the commander when he revealed it. I had to tap him on the shoulder. So what's your commander? And then he's like, oh, yeah. I don't even want to try to mimic it. I can't do it. But kudos to you, Last Place. That's the one thing I'm going to give you.
Job well
right
done.
now. Yes.
And
nice job.
Let's talk about the art also on the commander. I didn't see a single wolf.
Oh, yes.
So,
well, maybe he's doing that thing where he has multiple arts of it for some reason. We don't know. I'm not going to say anything yet. We'll see how the season goes. But yeah, that art was a little awkward, I guess.
Yep. Rooting for you, nonetheless, Last Place.
Yeah.
Nice job and great win. All right. So next up, we have the Lord of Whispers, another player to win this week, and this one's a tricky one. I'm not quite sure who his commander is. So one might say it's Rocco,
which I believe we've seen before.
We did have a Rocco in JWC past.
So who's the Rocco that is his commander?
This one's Rocco Cabaretti Caterer.
Ah, that's it. He got a new job. 'Cause he used to be a street chef.
Oh.
That's what it is.
So
But
he
now
got...
he got bumped up. Pay grade boost, right? I think. Caterer.
Chef, caterer.
Is a caterer above street
Caterers.
chef? Well, street chef.
Okay. Street chef.
Everyone.
Let's call it a promotion.
Yeah, he got a promotion.
But is this even his commander hand?
I had the privilege of losing to him this week.
Yes.
And I could be I guess you could give me one of the top 3 salts, but I wasn't too over-expressively salty, but he did steal my win, but I took 2 of his KOs, and I know the KOs mean a lot to Spud.
They sure do.
Excuse me, Lord of Whispers.
They sure do.
AKA maybe the same person? No, maybe not. No.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we start by reading Rocco?
Yeah.
And then we'll go into this a little bit deeper and explain the confusion here.
Yes.
Anyway, Rocco Cabaretti Caterer, elf druid, and then he reads, when Rocco Cabaretti enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you may search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So, it seems our Lord of Whispers has a plan to tutor for a specific card every time, and that this may actually be his true commander.
It's Norin the Weary, a 1-drop that whenever you target him, he exiles himself. And his deck name, the Phantom Menace, is very, I will say after one game, very true to its name. So good job, Lord of Whispers. I see what you're doing there, and I lost to it, but I'm coming back with an upgrade, which I actually did put into the app, so I don't want to get reprimanded for that. It's there.
More on that later.
Yes.
All right, so we would be remiss to not speak
Of who Norin is.
who Norin is, of
Correct.
course.
All right, let's go.
Norin is, without a doubt, the centerpiece of this deck, as we will find out as the season progresses. But Norin says, when a player plays a spell or a creature attacks, remove Norin the Weary from the game. Return it to play under its owner's control at the end of the turn. I'm imagining there's going to be a lot of recurring of Norin the Weary and probably some punishment for when he's entering and leaving the battlefield.
Yep, a lot of ETB triggers, but we had a really good game back and forth, so I will say that he's a pesky little fucker.
Nice.
But it was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting deck. Really excited to see what this one does. It certainly is something that no one's ever done before.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
kudos.
Yep, nailed it.
All right, so next up, my very hand, Cal Ducky. And he's coming to us with Nakuzar, the Mind Racer, which reads, at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Nakuzar, the Mind Racer, deals 1 damage to that player. Holy punishing. What do you have to say for yourself, Cal?
I'm a little out of character right now. I'm my own self, Cal. I'm the person piloting this deck is still a working title, Black Ryan. He's a little bit more evil than I am. But yes, the deck it's punishing, and I think as upgrades go, it will become more punishing. Obviously, wheel. So wheel tribal. I ultimately couldn't get away from tribal. I tried to, and I came full circle, pun intended. In our first game, between Lord of Whispers and I, there was a lot of pinging. So we'll see how it goes. I think that it'll become targeted a lot. But as we get through this list, there's a lot of threats that probably equally as scary. I'm not trying to take the spotlight off of Nekuzar. He is a top commander. Not very original, so maybe there's a Spuddy in hand because I'm probably top 10. But he is Grixis +2. First Grixis commander.
Did you know no one's ever played Grixis in JWC history?
Yep. Nope, and now I'm doing Grixis +2. Nekuzar the Mind Razor.
Love it. I love that it's slightly on brand for the Tribal Overlord and that it's Wheels Tribal. But this is something different that we haven't seen from Cal Ducky in the past, and I'm excited to see play a different strategy.
Yep,
this season.
It's a little bit more mean. I'm trying to be a little bit more mean, but at the same time, I got Ninja Turtle lands.
Nice.
How mean can you be?
Next up, we have the Holy One, High Sparrow, who's coming to us with Helga, Skittish Seer, who is a frog druid that reads, whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 4 or greater, you draw a card. Gain 1 life, and put +1/+1 counter on Helga. It also has tap them, because I'm not sure if it's gender. Add X mana of any one color, where X is Helga's power. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells with mana value 4 or greater, or creature spells with X in their mana costs. As usual, that's a mouthful for High Sparrow, and it's a lot to digest. Not totally sure what's going on here. All I see is there's 4 or greater, and it brings me back to the days of Glarb. I feel like there's a frog theme there. What do you think in hand?
That the High Sparrow is doing his High Sparrow things.
We're casting big creatures.
Yep.
We're gaining life. We're drawing a card, and you're putting counters on Helga, which adds more to her ability to add more mana to cast bigger creatures, and it's going to spiral out of control if it doesn't get taken care of.
Yep. Holy board state Batman.
Holy board state Batman. Typical High Sparrow stuff.
Yep.
Like to see it. Like to see the on brand.
Yep. Love it.
Looking forward to seeing what this little frog does. And next up, we have Kingmaker Kiki, going a completely different route, something we've also never seen in JWC history. He's playing Commodore Guff.
America.
Commodore Guff is a planeswalker, and the whole rest of the deck is filled with planeswalkers. Because Commodore Guff reads, at the beginning of your end step, put a loyalty counter on another target planeswalker you control. His +1 ability says, create a 1/1 red wizard creature token with tap, add red, spend this mana only to cast a planeswalker spell. And then a -3 says, you draw X cards, and Commander Guff deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of planeswalkers you control. Commodore Guff can be your commander. I love this deck from Kiki. It's totally unique. Something we've never seen before. Planeswalkers, baby.
I want to salute the commander reveal, because Kingmaker Kiki did bring up a huge point. It is the Johnny Walker Cup. And why not play planeswalkers?
Point well taken.
Yep.
I got to see this deck firsthand. It was a game where everyone was going off, but Commander Guff did its thing, and very excited to see how this whole planeswalker thing works out. Very interesting deck.
Me too.
All right, hand, we're about halfway through. Next up, we got D-Rock the Conqueror, who's playing Zimone and Dino. Zimone and Dino reads, whenever you draw your second card each turn, target opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. Very classic D-Rock.
I love it.
Then says, tap it, sacrifice another creature, draw a card. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you control 8 or more lands, repeat this process once. This is a D-Rock deck through and through with a different color on top.
Derek said it perfectly when he cast it. Welcome to hell. Even though he may not have won this week, in my opinion, he holds the play of the week when he stopped Chain Bloom.
Ah, yes, Chain Bloom, the notorious Lord of Infinite combo that I'm sure we all know, but in case you don't, that's Witherbloom Blossom with Chain of Smog, which constantly copies itself, pings everybody down with Witherbloom. Everybody knows what that is.
Yeah.
Nice job, D-Rock. Save the table, and for that, we thank you.
Yes.
But you did let Vojo win, but that's also expected.
Yep. Get him next week.
And next up is Jägermeister, who's playing none other than Henzi, Toolbox Tori, who's a devil rogue and reads, each creature spell you cast with mana value 4 or greater has Blitz. The Blitz cost is equal to its mana cost. You may choose to cast that spell for its Blitz cost. If you do, it gains haste, and whenever this creature dies, draw a card. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. And then it also reads, Blitz costs you pay cost 1 colorless less to cast for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone. This game. A mouthful, but holy hell did it go off week 1. Very similar to his week 1 play last season. Thoughts, hand?
So I have played in the past a deck with quite a bit of removal, which the Reaper King. I mean, I didn't realize how. I just wish I was more evil when I was playing that deck, because I think I might have had a chance. I played it a little too nice. But Henzi does have a nice removal kind of built into the commander.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's could catch you by surprise, but I think it's adds a little bit of excitement.
Absolutely.
I think it adds a little bit of sort of speed and ways to kind of almost flip the table upside down when you're least expecting it. So I think that'll be a fun deck to watch as it evolves over the course of the season.
There's certainly a lot going on with it. Obviously, you see a reanimator theme probably happening here, gaining a lot of value from sacrificing their creatures and coming out with haste, so it's also very aggressive. But I will say from firsthand experience playing him in week 1, he's not just sacrificing his own creatures. He might come after yours as well, as evident by him taking the goodest boy Torgal and sacrificing him, unfortunately.
Sorry, King Ryan.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Torgal is resilient. The pack survives. So, yes, very excited to see what he does with his creatures and everyone else's creatures. Should be a very exciting value engine going forward. All right, and next, the infamous Lord of Chaos. And he's playing none other than the Wise Mothman. And if my calculations are correct, this is the highest ranked commander this season. The Wise Mothman.
I honestly thought it would have been me with Nekusar.
Yep, it comes in at number 12 on EDHREC. The Wise Mothman is an insect mutant that has flying and reads, whenever the Wise Mothman enters or attacks, each player gets a rad counter. When one or more non-land cards are milled, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to X target creatures, where X is the number of non-land cards milled this way. Holy shit. I'm scared.
Yeah, really a powerful deck. I want to take another moment to say that can say that the table is level and we're not just trying to call out other people's commanders. Mine is very powerful too, if not dealt with. He was able to get a little scary at the end, but it was kind of like it was just a little too late. And he even mentioned, like, you guys are doing a lot of damage between Spud and myself, or Black Ryan, I guess. But it was still a good game. Lord of Chaos.
Lord of Chaos.
Never comes with anything less, right?
Lord of Chaos, baby. Very on brand with Lord of Chaos. He's always coming with something super scary.
Yep.
That said, there was a season where he came with Grand Arbiter, and everyone was super scared at first, and he ended up being a welcome guest on your table for controlling the combos that season. So you never know.
Yep.
All right, my hand. We're almost there. Next up, we have yours truly, my own very deck. And I am playing Torgal, Clive's companion, better known to most of you probably as Yoshimaru, Ever Faithful, and he's partnered with Ryan, Last of Abzan. So let's read it. Yoshimaru says it's a dog, and Torgal is a northern frostwolf. And they read, whenever another legendary permanent enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Yoshimaru, Ever Faithful. And then Ryan reads, when he enters the battlefield, he enters with 3 +1/+1 counters on it, and whenever a creature you control dies or is put into the command zone, if it had 1 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you may put that many +1/+1 counters on target creature. So this deck is obviously purely flavor for the Wolves. Nothing to fear here, right, Ryan?
Well, how did it do in game 1?
Well, depends on whose perspective you're asking. If you ask Captain Rook, it was the threat.
Yes. How did Captain Rook do?
He surely did win. So just take whatever Captain Rook says with a grain of salt. But yes, I will have to admit it did absolutely do its thing. We had a lot of cards on the battlefield. It looked quite imposing, and the counters were flying, and we had both Savalas on the battlefield, which was awesome. So one of them was Explorer of the Returns. If you know your JWC history, that's parlay time. And we parlay timed a couple times.
I heard it.
Yeah, it was great. And we also got Zavala, Heart of the Wilds out, which was generating us a ton of mana with a big Torgal. But then Captain Rook went and killed us first. Not like there was a grudge held or anything from the end of last season. But yeah, 4th place for old Torgal.
But 4th place, you know what that means?
3 upgrades. All right. And next up is Sellsword, which we don't know his commander yet, do we?
No, we don't. And unless we look it up on the app, because it is public, but we are going to respect the reveal because we hear that there is a reveal coming. With that said, I was partially the reason, me and Lord of the Whispers, pinging damage. In my defense, and even Lord of Whispers' defense, Sellsword, don't keep the hand that doesn't have enough lands for you, my friend.
Oh, no. He kept a dangerous hand, huh?
Yes, he did. He was a gambler.
It didn't pay off.
It didn't pay off. We love you, Sellsword, and I'm not going to give you magic advice because I will say that you're a better magic player than me. Gambling doesn't pay off.
Well, unless, of course, you're headed to the casino after a good night at the Chaos Dome. But then maybe at that point it doesn't quite pay off either, unless you really, really, really want an espresso martini.
Yes, but wait, where are the games tomorrow night?
That's right. They're at the Chaos Dome.
Ooh.
All right. Casino? All right, and last but not least, Lord of Infinite, who is playing Talia and the Git Rock Monster, which is a human frog horror that reads First Strike, Death Touch, and you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped, and whenever Talia and the Git Rock Monster attacks, sacrifice a creature or land, then draw a card. Lots of value here. Could absolutely be a landfall, lands matter, value engine deck here. But something tells me, and I think we had evidence of it week 1, there might be some combo stuff going on here.
I agree 100% with everything you just said. The thing that sticks with me personally about this deck, actually, is that Lord of Infinite came up to me right after my commander reveal and said it is coming after me. So I think there's still some salt about maybe the fact that I did my 1 KO of the season up until the last round was at the zoo. I did take him out on his inaugural hosting at the zoo. Mm-hmm. So he did come up to me after my commander reveal saying he was coming for me. And I think,
ominous.
Yes, I think that me trying to take the role of the Dark Lord of the season, he may be coming for me for that. So we'll see.
All right.
So as far as his commander specifically, I don't have a lot of interaction for it yet. I'm sure I will play it, and I will have to either lose to Infinite to it or not.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it.
Counter spells.
I mean, we talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
He, week 1, popped off, and Chain of Smog and Witherbloom blossomed right away. So that's terrifying. Yeah. And, Voja ended up taking that game. But, yep. We got more combos.
Yep. Counter spells.
So
now that we've gone through all the commanders, and thank you, King Ryan, for being so thorough with all of that information, do any of them stick out to you as a major threat at this point, or levels of threat, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, and it's week 1, so we've seen 12 seasons of this so far. Things change every single week, and they change very quickly, and the threats change very quickly. So at this point, it's really just a gut instinct, and we don't have a whole ton to go off of either. We got to see how these decks work, but right off the jump, right off the rip, and there's no vendetta here or anything behind this other than the fact that Voja is a powerhouse. It's not only is it a powerhouse, it is right on brand with the Justiciar or the Justicar or Last Place himself. It fits his playstyle perfectly. I think we got a perfect mesh of power and playstyle and efficiency, and it's well positioned in this meta. I don't think it was a surprise that he won week 1. It's someone that I got my eye on for a threat to the throne for sure.
Yeah. Bo just stands out to me, but I think I think certain players, their consistency I think stands out to me. I know that the Sellsword, we just said what we said about him, but I wouldn't just put him away because he didn't keep the land. It could be one of those cases if he had that one land, he had a winning hand. So I definitely, it's really too early to tell.
That's a great point. I'm definitely not sleeping on the Sellsword because, of course, he's
always the threat. I'll flag myself for having a high-ranked commander. If not dealt with, it becomes an issue. In its weaker form right now, without its upgrades, it's definitely easier to deal with. But I think it'll become stronger, and I think it'll be more threatening as the weeks go on. Or it could end up in last place, and I could be sitting here as a silhouette next season.
You never know in the JWC.
Yes.
Another thought I had is it's seeming to become a pattern that our once rookie of the rooks, Captain Rook, finds himself once again atop the standings. I'm seeing that a lot. I believe that's how he started out last season as well. Finished as the runner-up in season 12, too. I would be remiss to not mention that commander up at the top again. All right, Hand. Well, it was an eventful week 1. Tons of awesome decks, tons of powerful commanders. This may end up being one of the most powerful and threatening seasons I think we've had yet.
Agreed.
We have some people on top at the moment, and we have a lot more people with upgrades, which reminds me to remind you to get your upgrades in before game time, because with Mana Sync now, they lock before 7 p.m. So if you don't use it, you lose it.
And that does it for our show tonight. Tune in Sunday nights at 8 before game day. We have a great season in store for you, a ton of new segments to get to. It's going to be great. And always remember, stay hydrated, my lords.